Welcome, Jordan, to talking about your project, man. So let's just jump right in. Public AI, who are you? What is public AI? And then we'll start there.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having us on today. And quick intro, Jordan here, the co-founder and CMO at Public AI. And what we're up to is building the human layer of AI. And what that means is throughout the pipeline of how AI gets created and used, where is human value? How do we capture that? And how do we reward people for participating in building more democratic, representative AI? And tangibly, what that means is we run tasks on our platform for people to come and participate in the sourcing of data. So we're able to get like niche on demand data. And then to get quality out of that, since we've got people self selecting into the work, we have a voting process and some on chain components like reputation that ensure that high quality data comes out the other side of that for our clients. And then we also have inference set up so that after the training data is applied to models, people can come and say whether or not it made an impact on the performance of those models. And we're in the Web3 space, we're kind of unique as we're a kind of traditional revenue driven business, and that controls the issuance of our points and token. And when clients come to us, it's because they're looking to get their models up to production grade, whether that's the reliability or the cost effectiveness, or maybe it's a startup trying to get a model out the door, proving out that their AI idea works. So that's kind of an overview of like what we do, what we're up to, and how we engage our community of over 1.8 million data builders.
Awesome, Jordan. There was a lot in that opening. So let's like break this down a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's like break this down for like the me's, right? So the normies. All right. So first you go to public AI. Who are your users of public AI? It sounded like you have two. You have like users and then you also have customers, right, that use it. So let's start with the consumer. So I'm a consumer. I go to public AI. Let's dive in there. What does a user that's a consumer do?
So when you pop onto the platform at beta.publicai.io, the first thing you can do is like bind some accounts like your social, crypto wallets, etc. That helps build some initial reputation in the system so that we know that you're a real user. And after that, depending on what cat tasks and campaigns are live, you can go into a quiz to prove your expertise in that area of knowledge. So, for example, we're running the mother tongue campaign right now where we're doing audio recordings in a bunch of different languages, currently 12, and we'll do over 40 total. And to ensure that people who actually have spoken this language since birth are participating, we have a quiz that if you are a native speaker, the answers are totally obvious. If you're not, then it would be confusing and you'd get a low score. So after you've gone through that quiz and gotten your badge of expertise, then you can go and actually participate in the upload task. And what that looks like is um, after you go on Data Hub, there's the uploads. You hit the task,
So quick question.
and
I'm going to jump
yep.
in here real quick. Sorry, Jordan. I just wanted. So tasks will change over time. Currently, there's a task where people speak in their language, and you're getting that data and tagging it or doing whatever you do on the back end. Just want to, and but that's there. It's not always going to be that. Tasks will change over time.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
So
Okay.
in the past, we've done campaigns for like we had a client that was building WorldCoin for dogs, so it was about taking pictures of dog noses. We've had campaigns around things like handbags and other luxury items for secondhand marketplace, looking to differentiate between authentic goods and not. So the tasks change over time, and it is good to participate over time as well because that builds up your reputation in the system, which opens up more earning opportunities and everything like that. So right now we're doing the audio. Get in there, hit record. You'll be shown a short phrase, and after you say the phrase, you listen to it, make sure that you actually like said all the words, and hit upload. And that's like the first step to actually like contributing quality data to the platform. And after that, there's like a mechanical synthetic filter, algorithmic filter that makes sure that like it's not an AI voice, that the words were actually spoken, things like that. And then after that happens, It comes back to user voting. So everybody who's participating in uploading can also vote on the quality of each other's contributions to ensure that there's quality data on the other side. And that's the second place where there's an earning opportunity. So you stake some points to participate and ensure that you're like committed to the task, understand what the rules are, and so on. And then after you do that and have some skin in the game, then you can vote. And based on the outcome of the vote, if you're in consensus with other people, then you get your reward and you get your stake back. If you're out of consensus, then you can lose your stake. So it's really like a way of keeping people honest and engaged as they participate, not just making random clicks.
Awesome. It's great. Yeah, because you said there's like an ability for consumers or users to earn, right? And so AI, as we know, needs lots of data and will forever need data. So and high quality data, right? Like, because sometimes you get
Yep.
this synthetic data that then gets looped a bunch of times, and you get a bunch of weird sort of like AI slop. But you guys are like filtering that out, getting high quality data. But the good thing that you're doing that sort of aligns, I think, with the near user owned AI narrative is that people actually get paid for their data, right? It's not just being taken from them without their knowledge, which is happening in most of the AI data.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tons of litigation around that. And there's we see a real opportunity in the data space. Like if you look at what the bottlenecks are for AI, you got things that are like compute, memory, things like that, which are um, you know, classic computer science problems and kind of like more like just things that will be solved by efficiencies in being able to buy more hardware or the algorithms getting better for how AIs are trained and things like that. So kind of like commodities. But what will remain valuable and has been valuable in the past, even before AI and before Web3, has been high quality data. So it's a mature, healthy industry, and it's one that's just being augmented and made even better by the fact that we can now capture value, and by getting that value directly into our community's hands, our users' hands, the clients are happy because they're not paying for additional overhead. They're getting a better deal on the data, and people are actually getting paid, so they're happy too. So in terms of like a marketplace, it's a very efficient way to go and source like the kind of high quality on demand data that has driven sales like Reddit and X. Like it's a very healthy industry.
Cool. So you said, so it does kind of like work. Is it a marketplace or works like a marketplace? Because now you've got consumers and now you've got clients, or let's say people who are
Yep.
using your platform. Do they
Yep.
create the data that they want as incentives, or do you help with that? Like, what is that? What does that look like?
So currently, it's kind of a white glove, hands-on process where clients come to us, they tell us what they're trying to achieve, and my co-founder, Dr. Stephen Wong, has a long history of applied machine learning, even before AI was the buzzword. So he has a really good sense of like when there's a problem, what data is needed to train the AI to solve it, and based on that, we're able to establish a task on the platform and get it live. In the future, that will be more self-service, and that's something that we're working towards on our roadmap. But currently, clients come to us, we get the tasks live, community participates, and tasks generally last a couple weeks, and then we have repeat customers that are coming back to us, like the real-time translation device client that's looking to do like multi-month campaigns.
Wow, that's really cool, man. Yeah, you can see now that you see the marketplace, you're kind of solving both sides, and you're in the middle helping facilitate all that.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. So then let's talk about let's dive into like the data hub, data hunter, and blockchain layer. Kind of those three areas. If we want to kind of work through that, how they work together, how you see them constructed, and things like that.
Yeah. So you can kind of break it down, and we were talking about the clients, and that's kind of like the top layer of this all. If there's no demand, then there's no reason to be doing any of this. And then immediately under that, we have our platform, which is the data hub, as you mentioned, which is a DApp or a web page that people go to do the bulk of the work or the tasks on the platform. And that's where we have like the audio recording, file uploads, video uploads, all those kinds of things that people can do. And then when I mentioned the fact that we're doing algorithmic checks on the data that's getting uploaded, because we don't want to waste people's time looking at garbage data, basically, that is actually being offloaded to Data Hunter, our Chrome extension. So that's where that fits into the picture. So every day people can be running their Chrome extension nodes, and then that helps offload the compute cost for being able to do the algorithmic filtering of the data before it goes to human judgment. Um, and the Data Hunter is also used as we have something live called AI Reply, where it's kind of like Grammarly for yapping or tweets, where if you got like blank page block and you're like sitting at an interesting tweet and want to engage with it, but you don't know what to say, you can hit AI reply, gives you an idea and something to respond to and edit to get the responses out. So we've got those two things live for Data Hunter. And what that also lets us do is identify high quality tweets. And we're doing that to be able to actually tell when a tweet is good or not. When somebody goes and responds to a tweet, then it's high quality, basically. And this was an iteration that we did because initially what we had been doing is rewarding people just for submitting tweets, but everything was coming in just kind of like everything. So by shifting the reward to making replies, then we're able to kind of like game a little bit and get higher quality content submitted for our clients that are looking for data sets of like high quality online content.
Cool. So that's good. Yeah, because you're solving that problem. Like it's really going to be about just getting high quality content consistently without being gamed. And
Yep.
it seems like you've got a lot of like things in place for that. So like let's like shift a little bit about your kind of go to market with all this, right? Like what have you been finding really has been working? What is the community or the users really liked, and what have the clients really liked, like in those areas?
Yeah. So from a community growth perspective, being able to have Web3 payment rails in place has been perfect. Like we've been able to grow at an astronomical rate thanks to that. In the past probably month alone, we've brought on an average of like 200,000 users a month. So it's really working well to have that like global payment system in place, and that super enabled the ability for us to go to the community and say, hey, we want to record these different languages and actually reward people from all those different countries and regions. So from that perspective, like the on-chain payments have been like instrumental to our early growth. And as we diversify and get even more demographics brought onto the platform, we're looking at more ways of doing rewards, not just crypto, but also things like gift cards and things that are more appealing to Web2 audiences. So that's another thing on our roadmap down the line. But right now, as far as the supply side, growing the community, things like that, the fact that we're distributing both USDT and points makes it really attractive to people who are kind of burned out on just like the point grind where there's not like an immediate reward. So the fact that we're revenue driven and able to do the USD rewards in addition to the points is a big differentiator for folks that are like looking for things to engage with in the Web3 space. And then recently, we also did the Data Babies NFT launch to reward the community and give them something visual to rally around. And that's been a big hit with people getting excited, wearing the PFPs, and repping their Data Babies. So that's been great for not just having people come and participate in the platform, but also build community around it. And around each one of the campaigns we do, we also see communities forming. So specific language communities, the pet lovers, things like that. So it's really cool to see people understanding that this is a way to earn, but it's also a way to like build community and hang out with people who care about the future of AI and making it in service of humanity rather than like some kind of top-down centralized like concerns. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you on that. It's like give people a little bit of user ownership, right? Like,
Yep.
user owned, where they're not just being harvested like batteries. It's instead we get
Yep.
to give our data and get rewarded for it, which I think is
Yep.
really cool. Question, you said like international payment rail, or what blockchain are you using for your payment rails?
Yeah, so we have it like set up. We're truly like multi-chain from the very start. So we're using all of the chains that allow you to do fast, cheap payments. So Near, of course, is integrated, and out of all our users, like the near rewards are the ones that are the most claimed. So that's really cool to see. We also have Solana integrated and BNB. So those are the payment rails that we're using and doing stable coins on those.
Man, that's really cool to see. It's cool to see like your background of being very crypto native. Now adding with AI, you're really like this perfect person for a user-owned
Mm.
AI in the decentralized AI space. I think that's really cool. So you're about to launch your token. If you want to give a little bit about like what that is, how can people get involved, and maybe some loose dates, that'd be wonderful.
Yep. Yeah, so dates, just to get it out of the way, we're aiming for Q3, in conversations with all of the players that are required to launch a token to nail those dates before we do any official news around it. And then, as I was mentioning, we're a revenue-driven business. So what we're doing is the foundation holds the bulk of the tokens, and then as revenue comes in, we issue tokens equal to the revenue to be able to reward the community for participating in the tasks. So in terms of Web3 and crypto, the way of thinking about it is we're controlling the circulating supply of the token through our revenue. And that means that it's not just one of those tokens where we're constantly emitting and the graph is just going to go down because there's just always more tokens coming out. Every token that goes into circulation is backed by actual value being generated. And that's another big differentiator in the space, and something when we were doing our Series A round was like really appealing to the investors that we were talking with. The fact that it was all backed by actual value, and like a business that was running today with live campaigns and all of that. So that's a little bit about the mechanics of the token. And then you were talking about the user-owned AI. Another thing on the roadmap is the ability for users to stake into data sets so that after the data has been generated, if you stake into the data set, you can accrue value over time as that data set gets used by like more clients and things like that. So it really is making the ownership of the data like communal and with the people rather than having it be something where it's like a one-off task and upload, and then you like forget about it. So yeah, it's a real way to stay involved in the continuing improvement of AI over time.
So could someone who's like an expert in something, like say someone's an expert in anthropology specifically around like, I don't know, some era, and they put all their info in a data set. Is it public or is it like is it like private but people can use it? Like how does that kind of work? Because that'd be kind of cool that people would start putting their knowledge on here and then staking the data set and getting
Yeah.
paid for their long-term knowledge.
Yeah, so because it's all client driven, client demand driven, if we get a client that is interested in archaeological knowledge or something like that, then yes, totally. That's certainly the model. And the data is all private, and through tech like ZK proofs, we're able to get that like on chain and verifiable, which is really important for the quality to be able to see where it came from. And from a sales perspective, it also allows us to give clients kind of a preview of the data without giving them the whole data set. They can search through a data set, see if it has the samples they need before they commit to like running a campaign or buying a larger amount of data.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super interesting. I didn't know that was part of this. That's really cool, man. So when people make a data set, do they come up with it, or is it like a client will ask for a data set, or can people start kind of creating their own sort of? I use this as an analogy, like they create their own YouTube channel, basically. That's through ZK, and so just they upload their knowledge every day, and that data set gets more powerful, and as people use it, they get staked. What?
Yeah, it like I was saying, is really client and demand driven. So clients come to us with a request, and then that's where the data sets come from. Like that defines what the data and tests are that we're running is through the client demand. So I think that one of the interesting things once we get the self-service component of being able to come and make your own tasks live is that people who can crowdfund data sets, or it'll make it a lot more accessible for startups and medium-sized businesses that are experimenting with AI to come and be able to source data, where previously they would have had to do like a deal with Google or Reddit or somebody to get a relevant data set for their problem. They can now go directly to the community and Eric Schmidt ex Google sees this as like really where AI is going to hit the rubber hits the road as far as like applications of AI. There's going to be a huge long tail of industries and niches where the AI application is like driving more value all over the place. And for all those little businesses and medium-sized businesses to be able to do that, they're going to need access to the same tools that the giants have had access to all along. So we're really looking forward to like the next 10 years of like what this rollout looks like and the maturing of the industry.
Dude, that is like now it all just came together. I like when like a moment happens. I'm like, oh, I get it now. Cool. So, is there anything else you want to like talk about? Do you want to talk about like the launch of Mother Tongue or the OKX wallet integration or anything like that? The Telegram mini app, any of that stuff?
Just one more with the tasks, the self-service tasks coming online. Once we have that, models can also make their own requests for data. So I know that around near the agents are a big deal, and once you have agents being able to make their own requests and they have control of their own funds, and you got a very interesting feedback loop there.
Dude, so in the future, you could basically have like a shade agent that has a task, needs to get the info. It goes to public AI. It puts out a request for anthropology, and then it's anthropology.
Exactly. Yeah. You
Dude,
got it.
okay,
Yep.
this is cool. All right, I'm glad we chatted through. So, all right, well, I think this is like really good. Is there any last things you want to say, and then we should say how anyone can get involved? I think those are the two.
Yeah, so right now we've got two tasks live that anybody can jump into. We've got a hero campaign for people to learn a bit about public AI and then share that with their friends, family, and on social media. And that's really important to us in the growth stage because what we're imagining is something like the 7 degrees to Kevin Bacon, but 7 degrees to any expert. And having everybody excited about sharing this opportunity with their communities and circles is how we get all of those experts onboarded. So the Hero campaign is live now. Go check it out. And then another campaign we have live is the third season of Mother Tongue, where you can come and upload one of 12 languages. Again, as the months go on, we'll be getting to 40 of those. So go check it out. And yeah, grab yourself a data baby. Why not?
Dude, thanks so much. This has been really interesting. I think it's super helpful, and I can't wait to like share this because this is going to be really, really good. Now I know what public eye is. Well, man, thanks so much for spending some time with me and sharing what you're doing, and I look forward to this over lunch.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us on.
All
Take care.
Public AI, public AI. It's time to pull up a chair. Join us in the Himalaya. Public AI, public AI. 100,000 point your love, so step right into the data hub. Calling all heroes, it's time to fly and earn more points with public AI. Season 2 is here and we know you can manage. Are you ready for the